Whenever you are ready, you may begin.
Thank you for being here today. Can you explain the value of trust and what it means to truly trust?
Whenever there is doubt or uncertainty, there is an inability to cultivate that which you call trust. It is increasingly important that you learn to trust both your connection to your higher wisdom as well as the information, the wisdom that is transmitted to you in that fashion. Most often, this will be delivered to you in a form that is harmonious with your own frequency or level of vibration at the time of the inquiry. And know this, that as you progress on your journey, it is not a bad thing to ask the same question or make the same inquiry yet again based upon your new level of understanding or awareness. This may allow you to have access to greater understanding about whatever the issue is. If you do not trust when you are receiving information that you are familiar with, it is less likely that you will be able to truly be open to receive information that is outside your realm of understanding. So, the value of your capacity to trust both your own ability as well as the continuity of the information that you are receiving is often determined by the level of trust you have both in yourself and in your ability to translate the signals that are transmitted to you through processes or methods such as the one we are currently engaged in. We would say the primary focus necessarily should be upon you learning to trust yourself and your ability to discern through primarily your feeling response to the energy transmission. Trust what it is you are connecting with and to, and your capacity to be able to know the resonance and the rightness of the transmission. Always remember your personal filters will sometimes influence what it is you receive or how you receive it, but primarily, if you do not have trust, in the process and in your own capacities. The doubt or uncertainty that would accompany the lack of trust can also distort what it is you are receiving. Therefore, the trust is even more paramount when you are engaged in conversations such as this one. That is what we have to say about trust.
Thank you. How does faith connect to trust, and how can we strengthen both?
Trust is something that can be earned or gained over time through repeated interactions. Faith, in and of itself, is normally part of a belief system that springs from within the individual. And often it is faith in something that either is unseen or cannot be explained in material terms per se. But if one has faith in one's ability to discern and trusts that ability to discern, then the alignment is present that allows for a less distorted signal to be received. And we are not saying you should have blind faith, for again, you are coupling the faith with your capacity to discern the truth or lack thereof of a particular transmission. It could be said that faith and trust are siblings, and when they are allowed to play together without interference, it creates a stronger energy field that allows for greater clarity in the transmissions that are received by the individual, whether in meditation or a simple conversation with another individual. Trust in yourself, faith in yourself and your own abilities is paramount, especially at this juncture, for all is certainly not what it appears to be, and each of you must be prepared to determine for yourselves the truth, veracity of what is unfolding before you. So again, trust is something that can be earned. Faith is something that grows or sprouts from within the individual. And yet the two are often working hand in hand. And when operating in a harmonious way, they create a clear channel for the transmission of both healing energies and wisdom that is available to all. And those are our words.
Thank you. How can we cultivate deep trust in our own inner wisdom and intuition?
No matter how long you are on this path of exploration, that cultivation of deep trust will be an ongoing process. For as your awareness expands, as your boundaries expand, you are exploring new territory with each foray into the unknown. Each time you expand your awareness, it is imperative that you have trust in your ability to continue to discern the proper pathway for you. So there is never an end to the continued cultivation of your trust in yourself, unless you choose to reach a boundary and not move beyond it. If that perceived limitation is as far as you choose to go, and that's as far as you trust yourself to go, then so be it. But if you continue to desire to expand your awareness beyond the threshold of where you currently stand, the cultivation of your inner trust will need to be present in order to give you the strength to take those next steps. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Can you please elaborate on the power of trust and the impact the energy of trust has on raising the frequency of this planet?
As you said earlier, trust and faith are like siblings. So the power of one's faith in the unfoldment of a divine plan, it requires faith to have a belief that there is a plan here, and then trust in oneself to be able to move within the flow of that divine plan. Requires both elements, the faith and the trust. each of you, are required is not the word. Each of you are called upon to have faith that there is a higher purpose here, and then to trust in the process as it unfolds, understanding that you play an important part in this process, and that your sole duty is to discern what your part is. So we do not know if this adequately answers your question.
Yes, thank you. What roles do authenticity and empathy play in establishing the foundation of trust?
Unless there is integrity within the internal structure of any being or anything, in other words, if there is a lack of authenticity or alignment, how can there be trust? That would, in and of itself, be determinative. So authenticity is of primary importance when it comes to determining whether one should place trust in another. It would be a matter of coherence. In other words, if there is a lack of coherence in the energy, then there is a failure in the alignment with one's true nature, and therefore authenticity is not present. And humans, being instinctual creatures, can sense when there is a lack of integrity, and yet may not be aware or conscious enough to be able to determine what it is they are picking up on. But they are aware that something is, as you might say, off. So if one is not authentic in one's expression, it is not surprising that others would respond in a way that would demonstrate a lack of trust in whatever that person is saying or doing. And therefore, authenticity primarily is of major importance, we would say, when it comes to putting oneself forward into the world. For without that, there can be no trust in. There would, we will say, there would tend to be room for distrust or lack of resonance with the other if they are out of alignment. In other words, if the words spoken are out of alignment with the energy one is perceiving, if one is aware enough to have that perception, there can be no trust placed with the other if they lack authenticity in their expression. Therefore, we would say being in integrity, being authentic in your expression, is of paramount importance.
Thank you. Can you explain how, when we trust, we open ourselves to the miracle of the present moment?
Being fully present in the now moment of time isn't only a function of trust. Much of it would also have to do with one's ability to be present with their awareness and not allow it to wander along the timeline, either into the past or into the future. If one has the capacity to expand one's awareness to include both aspects, the past and the future, thus expanding the present now that you are existing in, that is one thing. But to say that it is trust alone that brings about the miracle of being fully present, we would say that is more a function of one's ability to choose to place their awareness squarely in the present moment that consciousness finds itself. And that is not necessarily done through the operation of trust. That is more a function of one's intention and choice and focus. So that would be our response.
Thank you for that. It is said, where there is trust, there is peace. Can you please share your thoughts on this?
When we are able to absolutely, totally, and completely trust in a person or a thing, be it a concept such as the concept of there being an infinite mind, an intelligence that pervades all creation. And if we have absolute trust in that concept, that does engender a sense of peace, of settling, of calm, of serenity. For it allows us then to move in a different way in the world. So we would say that having that understanding, if you are indeed able to place absolute trust in such a thing, in such a way that you internalize that for yourself as well, that will indeed bring peace to the entire organism. So we would be in agreement with that statement.
Thank you. Do you believe that character, competency, and consistency are key ingredients for building trust? And will we see or feel an expansion of these energies throughout the planet?
Although that question may be simple in its construction, it is actually quite complex. So as you assess your own character or the character of another, that will lead you through operation of your discernment to determine whether there is trust there or not. And again, assessing the competency of another will lead you to certain conclusions. As far as your own nature, you know full well your own character and are aware of your relative competency when it comes to any matter, including spiritual things. Consistency of expression is an important component to being able to trust or place your trust both in yourself and in another. And so we would say these three factors individually can affect one's level of trust that one places both in oneself and in another. And whether this spreading will eventually envelop the entire planet remains to be seen. You must, each of you, first have faith in the process and trust yourselves to be able to discern as you move along the pathway what your next step is, as you contribute to the development of the whole. And this is where the potential exists for there to be a collective expansion or shift in the collective consciousness that would contribute to the expansion of light as well on this planet, which is the ultimate goal here. For without the infusion of more light into the planetary organism through the operation of the mass of humanity that resides here, there is a diminishing opportunity for there to be a successful transition. So we would say to each of you, continue your efforts to find a deeper level of trust in your own abilities and capabilities, as well as look for ways that you are able to place more trust in another. This will facilitate the global expansion of what many here call the awakening process of the collective. Most of you do not even trust yourselves at this point in time, and therefore it is virtually impossible for you to trust another. We hope that as you continue to open yourself up to the possibility that the other is not your enemy, but is in reality simply another expression of who you are. It is through the engendering of this type of awareness that will bring about the level of change that is needed here. And we are here to encourage your efforts so that there can be progress. So we know we went a little off topic, but that is how we will respond to your question.
That was perfect. Thank you. I want to thank you for your insightful connection today. Do you have any additional words you'd like for us to hear today?
Although you may not yet be completely aware of it, humanity indeed is standing at the threshold of an important change. And whether or not you are capable of moving through this threshold, stepping across it into your new existence, will indeed have a lot to do with the level of trust you have both in yourselves and in your capacity to hearken to and respond to the signals as they come to you from the field, from the infinite mind. Trust in your ability to be able to perceive and to receive in any given moment what it is you are needing at that time. And you will indeed be able to complete this next step. We would add that there is no need to be fearful, for all is indeed unfolding as it should, based upon the collective choices made at any given time. There is always the potential for instantaneous transformation, and none of us know the time and the placement of such transformation. Continue to provide yourself with the best, the highest vibrations that you can experience in your environment. Allow yourselves to be influenced by these higher frequencies, and know that that will help to build your ability to respond in a coherent way in any given moment. So we encourage you to continue to build on the trust you already have, and continue to bravely step forward, even when there may be some trepidation in your spirit. Move with the light. Move forward into the light, and we shall not let you fall. We are here to receive you and will continue to assist you in whatever way we are able to, within the parameters of always honoring and respecting your free will choice, both individually and collectively. So we say to you, be joyful and know that you are participating in the midst of great change and a permanent transformation. This will not happen overnight, but we know that it is preordained, that eventually you will transcend your current state of existence. We look forward to the day when you do have the opportunity to experience peace in your world as a collective. And until then, we will continue to transmit to you in whatever way is available to us the light and the love of the universe for this part of creation. We thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today, and we look forward to another conversation.
Thank you for your continued assistance on this journey.
Ooh.